So let's review the quadrants. Which one is 1? Top right, this is 1. And then you go counterclockwise. So this one is 2. This one is 3. This one is 4. Let's review the axes, because if your point doesn't land in one of the quadrants, it's on one of the axes, which is this one, the horizontal one. Good, that's X. This one's Y. Okay, so let's just plot the points. 2, -1. You would go 2 for X and then -1 for Y. That part's easy. Do you remember homework 1 in Delta Math? Literally all you had to do was like click on where the points were. Oh, can you just get it out from? Only thing you're going to have to remember to do is label it. So that's point F. Just make sure you label it as point F. Like, just make sure you remember to do that. And what quadrant is that one in? 4. All right, 0, 4. You're not going to go left or right at all for X. You're just going to go up 4 for Y. And that is point G. Again, just make sure you label it. Because if on the test, you just put a bunch of points on there and I don't know which one's which, I can't grade that. All right. Now that didn't land in one of the quadrants. It's on the Y axis. All right, 6, 3. You're going to go right 6 for X and then up 3 for Y. So this one is H. So 6, 3. And that is quadrant 1. And then let's maybe just do one more of these. I want to skip like a couple so that you have something to try. Like you can try some of them for next time. I'll post all the answers on Schoology. -5, -1. So you're going to go left 5 for that -5 and then down 1 for the -1 for Y. So that's point I. And what quadrant is that in? In 3. I'll leave those 2 for you. I'm going to fill it in. I'll take a picture when I post it on Schoology. You can check all your answers. Okay. Stating domain and range. Do you see the arrows on the ends of this? Don't fall asleep on me. Do you see these arrows? It goes forever left and right. So what is our domain? If it's forever, it's everything. Do you remember how we write that? Yeah, ER. What's the R stand for? Real numbers. Every real number. 2, 6, -17, 43 billion. They're all in there. So do you see how this arrow goes up and this one goes down? Forever. So your range is also all reals. It's going to be the same thing. The only difference is what? It's Y. Instead of X, you're going to put Y. It means everything. Can you just put your butt up? This one is just a constellation of points. So you're just going to list them out. And if you don't want to put the swirly bracket, that's okay. But you have to give me an X for domain and a Y for range, because I have to know you understand which one's which. It's technically supposed to be smallest to biggest. So we're going to go left to right. So what is the X number for this first one? We would have to count. What is it, like -6, -7? -6, good. And then -4. And then, oh, what's this one? 0. And then 3. And then 4. You're literally just listing them out. That is all that there is to that. Please don't overthink that. And then for range, it's the same thing except Y. Again, you want to do them smallest to biggest. So you're going to start down here and work your way up. So like the most negative to the most positive. That one looks like it's not exactly on a whole number, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll say -4.5. That's weird. And then -2. And then this one's 0. And then 2. And then let's see. 5, 6, 7. I agree. Perfect. Thank you. My eyes are old, so I appreciate you helping me out. All right, for this one, there are arrows on the ends of that. I realize it looks like they're pointing down, but do you get how this is going to go left forever and that's going to go right forever? Like it's going to go off the paper and continue forever. So what's our domain? Yeah, all reals. Good. Everything. Left and right forever. It's every number in existence. They're all there. Range will not be all reals. What? Watch. I will point to it. Do you see how there's no graph up here? Range is up and down. Do you see how there's nothing up here? We want to stay below what Y number? Like we want to be shorter than how much? 4. So we want Y to be, how do we say that? Y is what? We want to be good. Less than or equal to 4. Perfect. Question? So here's 4. Are you seeing where I'm getting 4 from? Okay. The graph stays below 4. So I want everything underneath 4. So that's why we're saying less than or equal to 4. It's kind of like you have to be this tall to ride that ride, but instead it's like you have to be this short. Like it's 4 and below. That means forever. So see how this one, the arrows on the ends, it goes left and right forever and up and down forever. It means like you will get literally every number in existence because it continues on forever and ever. And that's just how you write that. The little sideways E means elements and R means reals, element of reals. You will get used to writing that because it's a very common answer. It comes up a lot. All right, for 3, here's your 2 functions. All this means is plug it in. That is it. And on the test, you'll have a calculator. We'll just do one of these, all right? M of -1. You're just going to take -1, plug it in for X. Don't fall asleep on me. You need to give them a hug. Did you see the ones on your benchmark like this, where it was like evaluate when X equals this and Y equals this? Did you just type them in? Did you guys do that? Like, work with me. We typed them, right? Okay, that's all you would have to do on the test. Here, we'll work it out. -1 squared. That's -1 times -1. That would be -1 times -1. +1, good. Negatives cancel, 1 times 1 is 1. All right, so that part's just 1 times -2 would be -2. How about this? 3 times -1. -3, good. Anytime he times by a -1, it's just gonna, change the sign. All right, all of those are negative. It's like you owe someone $2 and then you owe them $3 more and then you owe them $2 more. Gosh, you're like borrowing a lot of money. I've said -7. And again, on the test, you would use a calculator. I just had us walk through that so you don't get out the computer. This one's the same thing, but you're going to plug in -2 to which function? Okay, you would plug in -2 for that X right there. That's all that is. Just plug it in. Cool? All right, so this column is going to go together. So given this relation, is it a function? What do you think? Yes or no? The answer is no. Good. Why? And I'm not looking for a paragraph as an answer. Like there's 2 ones. Or you could say X repeats. However you want to say that. The X repeats. That's what the problem is. I don't want a paragraph. I became a math teacher, not an English teacher. I don't want to grade an essay. Short and sweet. Just give me the answer. All right. What is the domain? X equals, and what are our X numbers? 1 and 2. You don't have to repeat them. And I didn't draw the swirly bracket. If you don't want to, that's fine. You just have to give me an X equals. Range, same thing. Only it's Y. 4 and 6. Don't repeat it. That's it. Please don't miss that. That is like so simple. That's all you got to do. All right, right as a mapping. Which one's the mapping? What does that look like? Yeah, like these 2 circles. This one's X, this one's Y. And again, don't repeat them. You'll just draw a different arrow. So we've got 1 goes to 4. And then we've got 2 goes to 4. And then we've got 1 goes to 6. So again, don't repeat them. You would just draw another arrow. And then as a table, you actually are going to have to repeat them because you have to put every single point on there. Like all 3 of these are going to have to go on there. So 1, 4, 2, 4, and 1, 6. Because they all have to show up on there. So you do have to actually write them. We're literally just going to do that exact same process for question 5. It's just the same thing again. So is this one a function? What do you think? It could be. It is. Good. Why? Yep. X does not repeat. Over here, X repeats. X does not repeat. That's like a definition. I can't change that answer. On your test, that's the answer. Like I can't change that. Either X repeats or X does not repeat. All right, domain. Your x's would be 2. Perfect. Technically, they're supposed to be smallest to biggest, but as long as they're all there, I really don't care. I would just put them in the order they show up. All right, and then y's are 4 and 8. And then we're going to do the same thing. So draw your 2 circles here. So 2 goes to 4. -3 goes to 4. Don't draw another 4, just draw another arrow to it. And then -7 goes to 8. And then same thing for the table. You actually do need to repeat them for a table because they all have to show up in there. So basically just writing the ordered pairs over again, just in columns. Do we feel like this one's going to be pretty easy, this test? Basically just rewriting a whole lot of numbers. You're not even really calculating too much. Number 6 is the same as number 3 on the other side of the paper. Let's pick one or the other. You're just plugging numbers in. Which one do you want to do, A or B? Blue B. You're going to plug -6 into function g for x. That's all that there is to it. And again, on the test, you would type it in the calculator. So we're just going to plug in -6 right here. 2 minus -6 squared. -6 squared means -6 times -6. Good. It means this. That would be 36, this part. So we get 2 minus 36. Now that's going to come out negative. How much? Yeah, good. -34. It's like you have $2, but you owe someone $36. Again, I'm leaving this one for you. You would just plug -3 into function f. I'll fill it in when I take a picture of this and put it on Schoology for you. This whole page is pretty much yes or no questions. Are they a function? Yes or no? So what do you think about A? Good. Which one repeats? One repeats. Now, if it's a graph, do you remember the test? What was our test for the graphs? Yeah, like, do you remember what test we called that? Vertical. Yeah, your vertical line test. If the vertical line hits more than once, then it's not a function. What do you think about B? Good. Yes. How about C? No. This is really all that this is. Yes or no? How about D? Yes, you can draw a vertical line anywhere. It'll be good. E is no. All right, now we're looking at the mappings. This is also no. Why not? Thank you. Yep, 0 goes to 2 of them. X repeats. That's it. All right, G. That one looks good. And then we're back here to looking at the points. So this one looks good. And this one is no. Don't you love it? It's just yes, no. We finished like the whole page in 3 seconds. Just yes and no. All right, number 8. The range. Oh, is range X or Y? Range is Y. The range is given by these numbers. What is the domain? So you're going to set this equal to each of those and work it out. This is where we're going to have to actually write something down. You're going to have 2x plus 3 equals -5. 2x plus 3 equals 2. And then 2x plus 3 equals 4. Do you remember when I taught this, I divided it up? I was like, you guys do this one, you guys do this one, you guys do this one. Well, on the test, you're going to have to do them all yourself. So let's go and work out all of them. It's going to be the same steps for all 3 of them. What would you do to both sides? Yep. -3. So 2x equals, yep, -8. Perfect. Divide by 2, -4. I'm going to stop talking because I know your teacher droning on and on is going to just put you to sleep. Just do the other ones as well. I'm going to work them out too. And just make sure your answer matches mine. This one came out to a fraction. That's fine. You can write it as a fraction or a decimal. Actually, this one's going to be a fraction too. Did you guys get fractions? So it's the exact same steps for all of them. You subtract 3, divide by 2. Just make sure you're careful. If you're given the range, that's how you have to set it up. If you were given the domain instead and it said find the range, then what would you do? Instead of setting it equal to that number, what would you do with those numbers? Yeah, just plug it in for the X value. So it just depends on if you're given X or Y, okay? So just be careful because one is one way and one is the other. I'll give you this when I'm done if you just want to pick up on the back page of this. Oh, and actually, that's what this one is. The domain is X is restricted to these numbers. You're just going to plug each of those in for X. And then whatever you get is your answer. I'll leave that one for you. I'll put the answer on here and I'll take a picture and put it on there, but you're just going to plug those in for X. Do you feel like you could do that on a calculator? Tap, tap, tap on a calculator. It'll just give you the answer. I believe in you. All right, for these ones, we're going to use the table. Find f of 0. That means you want the point 0, comma something. Yeah, just look at the table. That's it. Do you see that too? That's it. This one's backwards. Find x when f of x is 3. So find, yeah, do you guys see that there? -2. I don't really have a better explanation than, hey, look, there it is, unfortunately, because you're just grabbing that number off the table. Please don't miss that one. That's all that it is. Describe what this means. F of 3 equals 12. What do you think? Describe. So I'm looking for words, guys. Like a sentence. Like, what does this mean? Well, no, if you were doing f of 3, what would you do with 3? Let me flip back to one over here. Here, look. When it was m of -1, what did we do with -1? We took -1 and we plugged it in. So this means if you plug in 3, then what happens? You get 12. If you plug in 3, you get 12. This is the input, that's the output. If you plug in 3, you get 12. The point 3, comma 12 is somewhere on that graph. You plug in 3, your answer is going to be 12. I know, isn't that wild? Did you write it down? Okay. I sort of believe you. Why is your computer open? I know, you weren't even looking at it. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the graph. Find f of -4. You're looking for the point -4, comma something. Like, where is that something? So I'm going to go to -4 on the x-axis. That's right here. And you're going to have to just watch me point to it because I don't really have a better explanation than, hey, look, it's this point right here. It's -4. -4. Do you see that? It's the point -4, -4. This is your answer. Are you okay? And then this one's backwards. Find x when the output is -3. That means you want something, comma, -3. So you just have to look on this line until you find a point that is something, comma, -3. I'm going to bold the point. It would be this one right here. See how this is at -3? -2? Good. And then these are your review questions. Okay, I see parentheses. What does that mean we need to do? When you see parentheses, you take the -2 and do what? Distribute. We're going to take the -2 and distribute. I'm going to write over here because there's not going to be enough room for me to solve this. This will be 6. And then it'll be -4x plus 6 because negatives cancel. And then basically you just rewrite the rest of that. Don't do a copy error. You are just writing what's already there. I realize that looks like a zillion numbers. So what do we want to do now? Put them together, like terms. All right. So let's see. 6 plus 6, that'd be 12. Plus 2 would be 14. Negative 4 plus 3 would be negative 1x. Do you want me to write the 1? You like the 1? Okay, good. Equals 8 minus 3x. Just copy it down. You want to plus 3x to both sides. Hey, if you're awake and talking to me, I'm thrilled. And you guys like did well on your benchmark. You all put the effort in. You all wrote stuff down on the paper. You all tried. That's all I really wanted was an effort. I can't ask more of you. You guys did what I asked you to do, so it's perfect. I'm gonna try and look them up when we're done. I'm trying to push through to get this done early so I can look them up for you. All right, so this will be 14. All right, negative 1 plus 3, that'll be 2x, good, equals 8. 14 plus 2x equals 8. I had to move over here because I didn't have enough space. Minus 14. So 2x equals negative 6. You're going to make it. I really promise. Divide by 2. Here, you can go ahead and tell me this answer. What will this give us? X equals? Good. I knew you could do it. Inequality is the same thing. It's just instead of an equal sign, you've got this inequality. Okay. We're going to distribute the negative 4. Whoever made this did not leave enough room. I'm going to have to come over here. This will be 2 minus 4x minus 28, 4 times 7. And then you're just going to copy the rest of it down. Oh my gosh, that looks a zillion years long. Put the like terms together. 2 is going to go with minus 28. So what's that going to be? It'll be negative 26. And then negative 4x plus 2x will be minus 2x. And then just copy the rest of it down. You're just rewriting what's there. Then what? You can do it. You're all awake. You're all with me. I believe in you. Minus 8x. That will be negative 10x. Most of math is about staying organized. It's almost not really about intelligence because the calculator will do stuff for you. It's really more about staying organized, like not writing stuff all over the place. All right, plus 26. That'll be negative 10x greater than 24. Oh, divide by negative 10. Hey guys, we divided by a negative, so you flip the symbol around, and that'll be negative 2.4. It's kind of weird. That's a negative 2.4. I don't know why there's a 21 at the bottom of this paper. Question? For sure? Do you have all this written down, Kyle? Yeah, keep going. Because on the test, you're not going to be able to stop halfway through unless you want a 50%, you know? All right, so you would put negative 2.4 on the number line. What kind of circle does it get? Open, and it says less than, so to the left. Thank you. And the last one I'll just get you started on. First of all, both of these need a hug. And when it's a fraction equals a fraction, what do you do? Good, thank you. Cross multiply. So you're going to have 9 times p plus 10 equals 8 times p minus 7. Because there's parentheses, what would you need to do? Distribute, and you would go from there. I'm going to fill it in for you. I deliberately skipped a few though, so that you could go back and try them and then check your answers on Schoology. You don't have a graded assignment for next time. You just need to make sure you're ready for the test.